Yo, what's up, guys? Hope you're all doing good today. Today has been fucking wild. Basically everything hitting our price targets, everything that we had expected to the downside. Unfortunately, I didn't get into many of the positions that I was looking at last week. Going into the close of the week, simply because I thought that maybe we'd get a little bit of a bounce, that I could get a better pricing, but that didn't happen. So we're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over a bunch of other shit. We're gonna talk about Tesla. We're gonna talk about the market. Talk about some trades. We're gonna answer your guys' questions. Um, I don't know what the thumbnail looks like right now. You guys let me know. YouTube is terrible at updating a live stream thumbnail, so you guys might have a completely different. Like when I posted this to Discord, it had the complete wrong thumbnail. But today, what's up, Casper? What's up, Abdullah? If you guys have questions, put them in the chat. As always, if you have any tickers you want me to look them at, put it in the chat. As always, there's 42 people watching. Hit the like button for sure. Um, the way that I'm probably going to do this, since you guys love when I live stream, is I'm going to start live streaming every single day. I don't know the exact time, but I plan to start live streaming every single day. As a content creator grows, especially since I have two companies, they're doing fucking phenomenal, but I just don't have the time like I used to. So my goal is to do a live stream every single day. We'll also talk about my Tesla puts I just opened. To do a live stream every single day like this, chop it up. So chop the live stream up, post those videos on their own. So if anybody doesn't want to watch like an hour and a half long live stream, they can just watch like the specific tickers. And do that, because this way, if I have like longer form content to teach you guys every single day, that will really help. I need to turn on my camera. I don't know why my camera isn't on. You guys can see my beautiful face. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. Plan is to do that, set that up. There we go. Do that, set that up, and then this way you guys will have long form content every single day if you want to watch it. And if you just want to quickly look at some of the sections that I've chopped, I will do that. My son looked at me when you cursed. Mubina, I am going to try really hard not to curse today. It's very hard, but I'm going to try very hard not to do that. So yeah, a lot going on. I just opened some Tesla puts. Tesla is down. I think we're going to take another leg down pretty soon. We're also going to be looking at the S&P 500. The S&P 500, I think, is going to take another leg down, hit every single price target that we've talked about so far. If you guys aren't already part of the Discord, it's completely free. The link is in the description. So much free crap over there, free live streams, which I'm live streaming now, free trades. I call out Tesla, SPY, triple Qs every single day. There's free courses, there's a ton of free stuff, so go check it out. And we're gonna get into it. So what's up, G? What's up, Bitcoin Fight Club? Can you talk about Amazon? We'll go over that. We'll go over Tesla. So yeah, while I start shooting off, when I start firing off the hip, I'm gonna go over Tesla, and we're gonna go over my trade, and then we're going to go over the market. So if you guys have any questions or any tickers you want me to look at, you have to hit the like button first. That's it. And then just put them in the chat section. And I will go through and look at them once we're done doing our analysis. So let's start with Tesla. Tesla's pretty much why a lot of people are here on this channel. So let's start with this. I ended up opening put position today. Should have held my initial put position from a couple of days ago. But we're going to talk about Tesla and why I think we're going to take another leg down. So let's also go through and let's look at if there was any unusual flows today. So looking at Tesla, Tesla still has this, cup and handle setting that we have here, this cup and handle pattern. Now, normally a cup and handle pattern would be set up where we're in an uptrend, and then we get this cup and handle. And we were talking a lot like last week, and I see that a lot of times people, and this is one thing I actually want to say, I did a video recently that I put on the, I don't try to be like a clickbaiter, but I put on the thumbnail rug pull. When I put like rug pull, I don't mean like a crypto rug pull. Basically, it's just big money gets a lot of people to stand on the rug, hold the bag, and then they pull the rug out from under them. And we see this a lot. I'll kind of explain this a little bit more as we get through this. But looking at Tesla, decent setup, downtrending in the year, and then you look at the overall market's not doing solid at all. So a lot of conflicting things happening, and I see a lot of people who are like, hey, you seem to switch back and forth a lot. And it's like, yeah, of course I do, because I'm doing 2 updates a day with you guys, and a lot of times, like, I'm just clicking on the video and I'm just kind of spitting out, I'm trying not to curse, spitting out like what I'm thinking out loud. So a lot of times it is going to be conflicting. Like, you guys have to look at some tickers every once in a while and be like, oh, that looks bullish, that looks bullish, market's moving. You come back 3 hours later and you're like, okay, this looks completely different. I don't really like the way this is setting up. So looking at Tesla, rejected here twice on this pivot point, couldn't hold the 200 SMA, broke under this level. And the biggest thing to note is the low amount of volume or low amount of demand within the volume profile. When we're trading within these ranges on the volume profile, it is going to be very, very easy for a stock to move within this area. So you can see that, like, last time we were in this area, we ended up running in just 2 weeks, 22%. So when we're in these low areas of volume on the volume profile, this is where it's very easy for the stock to move. You can see we broke all the supports. There is a small support coming up at like 858, which when we look at the 30-minute chart, we'll talk about that briefly. But looking here, I think Tesla's going to ultimately drop down to the 100 SMA, which is down at 824. And then from there, I do think we're going to snap, move to the 50 SMA at 780. And then from there, I do think we're going to snap, and I think we're going to hit 725. Now, the put position that I entered today has nothing to do with the stock dropping down to 725. I'm just looking for this little drop from 866 down to 820. Now, the puts that I ended up entering, if you guys aren't a part of the Discord, go check it out. It's free. But I have a premium aspect to it. Once you're in the free Discord, you just go to the upgrade section, and it's like $30 a month. So it's less than $1 a day. You get access to all my trades, all the phantom prints, dark pools, all of that shit. All that stuff, sorry, I'm trying not to curse, is over there. And so I posted this at 3:35. Right now it's 3:45, so 10 minutes ago. Open Tesla 916, 867.50 put. Average is 45.40, so about $4,500, which is 1.5% of my portfolio. So don't get things twisted to think that, like, I have a heavy position in Tesla, or I believe that Tesla's going to, like, shit the bed in the next 3 days. That's not what I'm thinking. I actually believe, if anything, we're going to see SPY bounce tomorrow, and we could see Tesla run back up to like maybe 880. So looking at Tesla, I'm not expecting a super fast drop, but the RSI is pointing down. Volume is lower and lower and lower over and over. You can see here. And ultimately, I think we're going to get that drop. Now, looking at the smaller time frame, I'm actually going to go through and get rid of this so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. But looking at the smaller time frame, we had this big demand zone over here to the right. We snapped that demand zone at 909, dropped down, consolidated, broke 890 today, dropped all the way down, consolidated. I'm going to actually just zoom in, like, really, so you guys can see. I think sometimes if you're watching on a phone, it's pretty hard to watch. But right here, 870 consolidating. I think that we're going to take another move down to like 860. And if we snap that, look at how low the volume is on the volume profile, right? From this level, that's where we can get a drop down to 840. So I do think that if we get up over like the 870s, that's where we could see a relief rally back up to like 885. But I ultimately think we're going to get another like 3% drop. I see you guys within the chat. Go through and let me know any questions or anything on the live stream chat that you guys want me to go through. And once we get through this, we'll go over those. But looking at Tesla, I think that we're going to see a continued drop. If we go through and just look at the options for the day, most active calls is Tesla with 22 million as expected usually. Bullish flow, Tesla is actually nowhere to be found. Qualcomm is at 5.3 million. Top bearish flow is Apple and Tesla. And if we look at the heat map here, and we look at Tesla very briefly, you can see really nothing crazy unusual. There is a lot here on this heat map. I don't know if any of you guys know how to read a heat map, or if you don't know how to read a heat map, go ahead and comment down below in the live stream chat, and I will go over that. But looking at this heat map, there's a lot of action, but the action is not confirmed. So if it's an unconfirmed flow, I'm just not going to touch it. Simply, I'm just not going to touch it. So Tesla's not looking too good. Let's go through and just look at the chat really quick. You see Tesla back up at 940. Honestly, not without dropping down first. I don't see us running back up to this range. I think that since we've broken this demand level at 900, I don't think Tesla is going to get back up above 900 for a bit, honestly. But yeah, so let's go through. Will Tesla recover 900 by Wednesday? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. So we'll see what ends up happening. But But yeah, overall, that's really what I'd be looking for Tesla, and we'll see how my puts end up going. If I lose money, so whatever. It's a very small amount. Let's go through and let's talk about SPY, because I see someone's asking about SPY, and I know a lot of you guys are probably going to want to talk about SPY, QQQ, and whatnot. What do you think about SPY for end of week? All right, let's go through this. Does anyone have a question on what phantom prints are? I post a lot about phantom prints, so if you're in the live stream, let me know and we can talk about phantom prints specifically. But we had a lot of phantom prints hit over the past couple of weeks. Really like Thursday, Friday-ish, and looking at where those prints came through, SPY and QQQ have been like instant and perfect every single time they come through. So last week we had huge phantom prints come through at 422.33. We touched that. Basically, for anyone who doesn't know, please discuss what a phantom print is. So a phantom print is the son of the Phantom King. Very true. So a phantom print is basically like a real-time dark pool. When you see a dark pool come through, like for instance, let's like we have a Tesla dark pool here, but we can actually just look at like SPY very briefly. But when you have a dark pool, basically it's coming through on an exchange that is hidden, and it's coming through normally delayed. A phantom print comes through instantly and tends to be like a magnetic price point for the stock. Usually you're only going to see a phantom print on like SPY, triple Qs, IWM, like massive ETFs. Looking at SPY, last Thursday we had I think it was last Thursday or Wednesday, we had a phantom print. I post them in the premium part of our Discord, but we had a phantom print come through on SPY for 422. Now this is where technical analysis comes through, and what I really want to share when we're just looking at the game of probabilities. Okay, so when we're looking at a game of probabilities, we look at SPY, which I'm actually going to just zoom in quickly. We look at SPY, which was up 16% in a single month, right? 1 month and 3 days, 16%. It's up on the 200-day SMA, which is a huge resistance. It's up on a huge chunk of volume, right? Which is going to be a massive resistance. Then we get a massive phantom print down to 422. The game of probability says we're probably going to reject here, right? Shit is very overextended. Look at the RSI. We're up on a 200 SMA. We're up 16% in a month, and we're up on a massive area of resistance. So that is why I was looking to grab some puts, and we just rejected to perfection, came down, tapped 422, and this is why I become a stickler a lot of the times. If you guys probably notice, if you're within the Discord, make sure you hit the like button too, guys. The live stream, we have 147 people watching. Only 29 of you have hit the like button. So do that so it'll get out to more people. But basically, what tends to happen is we will gravitate towards that price. And I was waiting for like pennies on the dollar for SPY to tap 430 once again, and I never got in. Like SPY hit like 290, like 299.40 or something like that, or 429. Sorry, 429 like 75. So 25 cents off, and it would have been like a $6,000 trade if I entered. So that's why you don't really want to be a stickler about your entries. You just want to give them smaller position sizing, and if you're playing options, a longer time. But we came right down. We tapped that phantom print level of 422. Took that out over the weekend. Futures cratered. SPY's down 2%. Took that level out. Filled this gap right here. Fill that gap on SPY, and I think we're ultimately going to see SPY drop down to 411. Now, I posted within our Discord community that we might see a little bit of a relief today on SPY because, or at least going into tomorrow, we have two things happening. One, we have a bullish divergence forming on a very small time frame. I'm still bearish on the market, but on a very small time frame, we have the S&P 500 making lower lows on the 30-minute. The RSI is making higher lows, and we have this big chunk of volume here on the volume profile, which should act as a support. I wouldn't be surprised if we see SPY push up to like 415 today or tomorrow. There's only like 7 minutes left, so till tomorrow, and then we'll probably reject from that point onward. So SPY is not looking hot. Looking at triple Qs, same situation. Now triple Qs I thought was actually going to run to 340 before we rejected, but on Thursday, big phantom prints came through for 326, tapped that, broke the EMA, broke the phantom print level, dropped down. Support is going to be down at 310. I think triple Q is going to hit 310. If we snap that, I think we're going to hit 300. And ultimately, I do think we're going to get back down to 294. So triple Q, same thing. looking like shit. And IWM, same thing. I have to go to the 4-hour though. But same situation. Phantom print levels down here at 185 and again at 178. Good support here. Probably going to find a bottom here, but ultimately I think we'll snap 190 and move down to 184. Let's see, price of the phantoms. So okay, so there we go. So if you guys have any questions, go through, put them within the live stream and we'll go through them. But yeah, the market's really not looking too hot right now. Let's go through some questions first. What up, G? Or whatever that. Can you talk about Amazon? Let's talk about Amazon briefly. Amazon, I still have puts on. They're gonna expire worthless. I held them way too long. But looking at Amazon really is not looking good either. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this. We had this. This is actually a phenomenal breakdown of a bearish divergence. So let's look at this. As Amazon was making higher highs, okay, who is texting me? Fuck out of here. So as Amazon's making higher highs, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is happening with this RSI? Every higher high that we end up making on the stock, the RSI is making a lower high, which is what? What is it when the RSI is making a higher high, or I'm sorry, the stock is making a higher high and the RSI is making a lower high? What is that called? I'll give you a gold star if you can tell me what that is while I sip my coffee. A divergence. Let's go, Laura. Yeah, you get a gold star. Bearish divergence. Abdullah, let's go. James, let's go. Yeah, bearish divergence. So when a divergence occurs, it doesn't necessarily mean that the stock is going to instantly reject. All it means is that that movement that we have, in this case to the upside, that movement to the upside is starting to get weaker and weaker. The more times that we make a higher high and the RSI makes a lower high, that is when you're going to start getting a put position. Which is why I don't like, as soon as I see a divergence, I don't go and you know, grab a put, or if it's a bullish divergence, I don't go and grab a call. So yeah, Amazon looking like we're going to drop down to 127 for sure. We have a huge gap to fill. My options might actually end up being good. I have puts. They were worthless. We'll see what happens. I still have Apple puts that were worthless too. We'll see what happens with them. Amazon 130 bottom. Honestly, probably 127.50, but I think the market's going to make a lower low. I still think SPY's going to hit 350, honestly. We'll see what happens. Let's go up. Should I buy Tesla when it hits the 90s? I mean, yeah, it's up to you if you think it will be. If you think it's worth it, do it up. If you're buying Tesla, like, you're not buying it for what it's worth today, right? RCL, please, when you have a chance. RCL was a trade I took within our premium roll. Fucking dog shit of a trade. And it happens, right? Looking at RCL, we had huge unusual options activity. We had a little bit of this little cup and handle here. We were watching for a breakout over pivot of 44. Never happened. Drove through stop loss. I should close this out right now. I'm actually going to close this out right now. Because I just realized Mark's going to close in 3 minutes. But yeah, drove through the stop loss, and I'm going to close this out right now. But some trades just don't work out, which is something to realize. Like, you can't ever get mad at yourself for having a trade that goes the wrong way. It's just part of the game, and you can't get upset about it. It's going to be a good chance to sell cash secured puts too. Not on RCL specifically, but like just in general. Let me go through and close this. And let me post. I have so many DMs. Holy shit. All right. Let me post this within the Discord. Everyone took a $1,600 L on RCL. All right, cool. Definitely deserve more likes for quality content like this. David, thank you so much. Hit the like button, boys and girls. I always say boys, and there's always like a really nice woman who comments like, please say girls. So I got you, boys and girls. Let's go through. Can you take a look at net? Let's do it up, PS. Looking at net, definitely going to drop down to 57.50. Big run up, classic bear divergence, higher highs, lower highs, big gap to fill. I think net's going to hit 57.50. Marco, you're awesome. Thank you so much, Marco. You're fucking awesome too. I start buying again when I guess Tesla's at 725, all in at 650. Good stuff, man. Hold Apple puts for 170 this Friday. Let's take a look at Apple. I think you're gonna be stuck holding when market closes in 2 days. I don't like holding weekly contracts. Like, I always add a month to what I think it's going to take. So I have puts in, we'll talk about some of my trades soon, but like any puts I have in my trades, I have them out in like usually a month ahead. If I think the move's going to happen in 2 days, I buy it for like 1 month and 2 days. So I think Apple's going to drop down to 165.58 this week, filling this gap in. So it's really up to you. I don't know what your IV is, so that's up to you, but I don't like holding weeklies, but I do think SPY is going to drop to 165.50. If you look, we have a gap fill there, big area of volume. And then if we look at the smaller time frame, I haven't even looked at it, but yeah, good volume here. But if you look, this is where that gap is, and then 165.50 is right where that volume is. So good move. Yeah, I think we're going to take another drop. Tesla recover 900 by Wednesday. Definitely not. TA is a reflection of the stock. Where a stock has been, not where it's going. This video will not age well. Yeah, Chadwick, that's what a lot of people say, but I've been doing this for 8 years. And I think the biggest thing too is like, yeah, you have a complete point, but when you're looking at technical analysis, you're not looking at what will happen. Like, I'm not looking at the past. It's like, Jesus Christ, what is happening? NVIDIA, a ton of dark pools. All right, let me turn off my alerts. This is going to get annoying. So I think it's a really good, really good answer. Or a really good question. Because I have a lot of people who actually do ask me, is technical analysis really a thing? And I think that if you have been a trader for a bit, you know that technical analysis works. Is there a lot of fuckery involved? Of course there is. The reason technical analysis works is because people think it works, right? It's not like the stock, it knows that it's at the 200 SMA and that it's going to end up rejecting or bouncing or whatever. But to your point, Chadwick, at, you know, this is where the stock has been and not where it's going. This is the biggest thing that I want to get across to you guys. As a trader, you are not predicting where a stock is going to go. That's not your job. Nobody can tell where the market's going to go at all times, right? We're playing a game of probabilities. If the stock did blank, it might do it again. And if it doesn't do it again, well, fuck, we lose money. It's whatever, right? I think this is very important. I think that the reason so many people, when I look at traders who come through like our programs, normally their biggest issue is they can't take a loss. And the reason they can't take a loss is that they enter every position expecting to be right. You should never do that. Whenever I enter a trade, I think of it like roulette, but I have an edge. So let's say that like instead of 50-50 on roulette or like 49-50 on or 51 on roulette, let's say there was a way to get roulette to like 65% or 70%, right? I find the past setup, I find the setup that's working now, and I just fucking spin the wheel. And whatever happens, happens. And I think that people don't look at trading like that. They look at it like, I've done all of this like analysis and it should happen. The truth is, shit shouldn't happen. You don't know what the hell is going to happen, right? Like, you roll the wheel, you let it spin, whatever the fuck happens, happens. And if you make money, great, you walk away. If you don't, then you don't. And what you do is you do that over time. And if you look at 20 or 30 trades and you realize, okay, after doing this 50 times, I've lost money, well, then your edge is wrong, right? Your edge is wrong. People just don't understand technical analysis because they don't look at it in probabilities. They look at it as it's a certainty. So when I get on here, like, I'm not telling you for sure Apple's going to drop. I'm just looking at where the volume is, and I'm looking at what other people are looking at. That's all I'm doing, and it's based off of that. So right, brother, technical analysis works because the algorithms have some TA factors built into them. Some AI algorithms have multiple factors, just like your dark pools, various factors help. Exactly, like, the reason that indicators, this is very important for you guys to understand. The reason an indicator works is because everybody thinks it works. One of the biggest indicators is the 200-day SMA, which is this gold bar here, this gold line. Institutional investors use the 200-day SMA, which means that if SPY is coming up to the 200-day SMA and institutional investors believe that the 200-day SMA is a resistance, what are they going to do? Right? If institutional investors across the board use the 200-day SMA and we're coming up on a 200-day SMA, what are they going to do? They're going to fucking sell because they believe it's a huge resistance. So that's all I'm doing is using probabilities. If they think it's going to sell and flush it, exactly, Nick, then I'm going to sell. And if they don't and they drive it through the 200, then whatever, I lost money. It's not that big of a deal because we're using proper risk management. Now, that's why you want to use indicators that are wildly popular. You don't want to use some like wacky indicator your friend created because institutional investors aren't using that wacky indicator that your friend created, right? The only reason indicators work is because people use them, which is why most of the time I tell everybody to actually reduce the amount of indicators that you use because you're going to end up having too many indicators out there. And then there's a huge part where you get multiple indicators that are widely used, I should say, and they all are saying the same shit. And that is where you can get big returns. So looking at SPY, for instance, we had the 200-day SMA and the volume profile. So right here is a huge spot where a lot of institutionals are going to flush it and sell the stock because we have two massive things happening here. So you want to use your normal average indicators. No wacky indicators. Exactly, Ron. But yeah, I mean, nobody's trying to predict the future. If you're trying to predict the future, you're going to lose a lot of money. But if you're trying to use probabilities, then good. That's what the market's about. But good question or statement, Chadwick. I don't know if that was supposed to be like a trolling or what it was, but thanks. Let's go back up. What do you think about SPY end of week? I ultimately think SPY is going to be down at 410. JPal speaks Friday morning. What else is macro this week? I don't know. Guys, I know this is going to sound crazy. Like, I don't pay attention to the news, man. I don't pay attention to the news. I don't pay attention to, like, who's speaking and minutes. And, like, I don't really pay attention to any of that shit. I pay attention to the charts. And then from an investing standpoint, I pay attention to economic data. I have written on my board, I can't show you, but it says slow the F down and get rid of all the noise. That stands true throughout all aspects of my life, whether it's trading or just my normal life. Slow the fuck down, right? I run a Discord server with 8,000 people in it, and I recommend most of you guys to not hang out there every day, all day, because there's just so much shit. I love everybody here, but it's like, there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of messages in the Tesla chat anyway. It's a free Discord, so go check it out. It's in the description. But it's like, I would go fucking nuts if I just was talking all day about the market all day. Some of you guys might love it. My first 3 years, I loved it. There's a lot to learn, but there's also so many times that you just need to like, just chill, right? Just chill. So I don't really pay attention to any news at all. I used to have CNBC on my phone. I used to get pinged every time there was an alert or news. Like, I don't really care that much. I have no clue what macro is this week. If you do want to know what macro is this week, go to our Discord and they can go to the watch list. Callan puts out a weekly watch list. And then once you're there, you can click on it and, it'll download it and then it'll tell you what economic is coming out. So tomorrow, 4-week bill set. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff coming out tomorrow. I don't know. Money supply. I don't give a shit. I don't know. So I know I'm probably the worst person to help you with that. Let's see. Fed chair. Will it gap to 775? I do think so. Price of stock. We talked about that. Meaning fuel cars are cheaper than electric cars. What are your thoughts on low SNY and TSCO, Tesla fan? All right, let's talk about this because these are trades that I currently have open within my academy. So trades I currently have open right now, I opened up low LOW, SNY, TSCO. We'll talk about that and why I took those positions right now. So low LOW, the reason I took this is pretty simple. We have basically the new strategy that I've been working on is very simple. When I look at trading, I look at what is the simplest thing that I can do that I can duplicate over and over and over and over and over, that statistically, by back testing through a strategy tester, will have the highest, best return possible. And looking at this, we have low. Great setup. We have the 13 EMA, which is this red line, crossing down through the 26 EMA line. We are under point of control. We are riding this resistance line, and we have a demand zone right here. If we can snap this pivot point, there is nothing below here until we hit $205. So that's why I'm looking for a snap of 210. When this occurs, I will take profits around 204 by selling half of my position, and then take the other half down at 202, because that's where we get this big thick area of volume on the volume profile, which is where that bounce will happen. SYY, same situation. Looking for a break of the pivot zone, which we had today. We're holding under it. So as long as we can hold under this tomorrow, very thin area of volume on the volume profile should drop us down to 83.27, which is a 2% fade. And then once again, what was the other one? TSCO, which is Tractor Supply Company. This is based off of a 1 hour, but same situation. We had the two EMAs cross to the downside, pivot point holding at 200. Once we get under 200, there is no volume until we hit 199. And then if we break 199, which is my first take profit on my puts, then we'll drop down to 195.30. And then a stop loss on all of these would be if these EMAs cross back up to the upside, right? If you're part of my premium Discord, first of all, hit the like button. There's only 66 people who like this, so hit the like button. But I try to be as robotic about my trading as humanly possible, and so there are a lot of people within our premium Discord who are always like, hey, like, what's your stop loss? When are you going to stop out? When are you going to do this? As soon as the EMAs cross back up, that's my stop loss, right? Because that's what I'm trading off of. So I'm just making it as easy as I enter when they cross down if I'm looking for puts, and I exit when it crosses back up. If I'm getting calls, I enter on the cross up and I exit usually at a take profit zone or when they cross to the downside. So that's usually my stop loss. But looking at TSCO, looking good. And as an example, these are all trades from last week. Microsoft broke pivot point, shit the bed. This was a perfect trade. AMD was another one. Why am I opening up my Gmail? Okay, well, you guys get to see my Gmail. So going back and going here, you can see the same situation with AMD, right? Dropped, hit all the take profit zones. Same situation with, what was the other stock? There was a shitload that we hit last week. AIG Direct. I didn't end up hitting this, but AIG, same situation. Snap 56, hit the first price target, very low area of volume, probably going to hit 53.50. So Tesla fan for those, that's what I'm looking at, and hopefully it works. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, it's all good. Bearish divergence. Let's see. Let's go back up. A lot of questions and a lot of shit. Good stuff, guys. What's up with Tesla? We already went through that. Ron, would it work to change the time aggregation from 30 minutes to longer so I don't have to follow so close? Trade on a longer time frame. Yeah, Ron. I mean, so that's going to work the same. The only reason I picked 30 minutes is after back testing the entire strategy multiple times, 30 minutes tended to be the best possible returns. But you can do 1 hour. You can do 4 hours. The only difference is the crosses are just going to take longer. It's the only thing. Dovid, hey Pete, thanks for the content. Can you check out Target Hospitality? Let's do it up, man. Yeah. So So I don't know anything about this company, but it's looking like it's going to shit the bed. Big rally, massive bearish divergence, holding this demand zone, but it's looking like we're probably going to snap and move down to like 11. So honestly, Dovid, I would probably take profits, in my opinion. John, can we take a look at ENPH? The gains are crazier than Tesla. So ENPH, same situation as TH, looking like we're going to drop down, fill the gap down to 250. You could grab puts. I don't know what the options chain looks like here, but I probably wouldn't touch it. Fuck, man. I remember fucking shit. This is going to be funny. You ready? ENPH. Oh, that's... I guess that's not that bad. Never mind. Yeah, so I called out ENPH, this unusual flow, in the Discord on August 3rd. That's why I have this charted out. 916, 300 calls came through. All right, so it's not that bad. Stock only went up like 15%. All right, I thought it was going to be like one that I really, really messed up. All right, let's go through. Can we do a technical analysis on ENPH? Did that. Divergence, exactly. Why do you think SPY is going to make lower lows? Nick, really good question. So basically, multitude of things, right? Number one, quantitative tightening. Probably heard Chicken Genius talk about this. I made a video on this like last month. Historically, every single time that we go through quantitative tightening to take debt off of the balance sheet of the Fed, the market suffers greatly from it. And I don't know how long this quantitative tightening is going to last, but looking at that, I think that it's gonna drive the stock market down significantly. The other thing is that earnings this quarter were really not good across the board. A lot of people seem to be a little bit better, but ultimately, I think the earnings was not as good as a lot of people had expected. I think that we bounced way too quickly off of those lows. Inflation is still 8.5%, which is ridiculously high. Yes, it's not as bad as like 9.1, which was the month before, showing that it did top. But I still believe with a mix of inflation, quantitative tightening, bad earnings, and the market running 16% in a month, I don't think that this is, going to bounce anytime soon. But like I said before, I don't have a shitload of puts. I still have a decent amount of a decent amount of Tesla stock, and I still have not really that many long-term investments right now. But there's a lot of stuff I will be looking at. So we'll see what happens. SNY. So SNY is a trade I entered based off of unusual flow. Same situation here. Decent, not a wedge yet, but we do have a bullish divergence, and I entered it just based off of unusual flow. So it's just sitting here. It's taking a bit. Tesla fan. I'm still in it. I'm just holding it. Hobbies Pro, Microsoft. Let's go through and talk about Microsoft. Microsoft, you can see these are all my levels. I should have held my puts, man. I really should have held them. I think Microsoft's going to drop to 272. Couldn't RCL recover a little more? It definitely could, yeah. But for me, I just look at it like I just don't want to deal with the mental space of looking at it. Honestly, as ridiculous as that is. David definitely deserved more likes. Thank you so much, my friend. Means a lot. ETH, Mark, let's talk about, can I get Ethereum on these charts? I can, boys and girls. No, I can't. Okay, let's go to TradingView and we'll look at Ethereum. If you guys have any, we'll do Ethereum and we'll do Bitcoin, because a lot of people always ask me about that. All right, so let's talk about Ethereum. Looking at Ethereum, ETH, USD. I haven't been on TradingView in a bit, but I know a lot of people are probably asking about this. If you want me to look at Bitcoin, let me know within the live stream chat. Salty Sailor, I'd love to get a beer with you, dude. I'm totally down. I don't drink beer, but I'll drink some whiskey with you. Looking at Ethereum, daily chart, we had a significant run off of these lows down here at about 1,000. Good rally, good run, got back up to this level. I thought we were probably going to run up to like 2,200, just looking at where this 200 SMA is. But we ran nearly 100% in 33 days, which is just fucking crazy. But we rejected here, couldn't hold this level, rejected on this thick area on the volume profile, holding support. Ultimately, if we give up 1,550 on Ethereum, it's going to crater back down to the $1,000/$1,100 point. I personally will be looking to buy some more Ethereum at like 1,100. Looking at the weekly here, you can see it's the same situation, looking really, really bad on the weekly, like really, really bad. Rejected on this EMA, ultimately looking at Ethereum, I think that we're going to end up making another move back down to 1240, 1250. And then from there, if we snap like the 1200s or the 1100s, we're going to see ETH back down to like 589. Not necessarily saying that's going to happen, but I do think another move back down to 1300 is probably on the horizon. And if we were to go through and look at Bitcoin, that is not BTC USD. Looking at Bitcoin, same type of situation. If we look at the daily for Bitcoin, let's go through and actually zoom this in a bit. There we go. If you look at the daily for Bitcoin, came all the way down, hit those lows of like 17,825, rallied nearly 39% in 60 days, pulled back, and what is this? I don't have anything in this channel. There we go. So I have to actually change the color here. But what is this, right? Potential bear flag. So big fade, consolidation, big fade, consolidation. Looking at Bitcoin, I ultimately think Bitcoin is probably going to get back down to 18, maybe even $12,000. I know I'm probably not your guys' favorite person right now, but ultimately I could definitely see Bitcoin back down to like 11 or 12 grand. But then again, like I'm not a huge investor. Like I really have a very small amount of crypto. Thoughts on Apron? Or are you talking about, is ETH also a ticker? I don't know. No. Well, yeah. I think you meant Ethereum. I don't know. But if not, we went over it, so fuck it. Thoughts on Apron? Blue Apron Holdings. This is actually enticing. This is pretty enticing, actually. So, looking at this, normally I would say we're probably going to reject at the 200 SMA. But the fact that we're holding this level, there is no volume up here. To be quite honest, I wouldn't time a put. If you're in it, you could hold on a little longer, but I would run a trailing stop. I personally wouldn't try to get in now and run it up to 7 or 8. Doesn't look bad. Always watch and learn from this channel. Greetings from South Texas. Oscar, what's up, my friend? What part of South Texas? I'm looking to move. Seriously am. I have my Austin Terry Blacks hat that I fucking wear every day. But that's Austin. It's not really South Texas. Where to join? Discord is in the description. I really need to start looking at this probability, my man. Yeah, you have to look at it as probabilities. Like and that's why I think that's why a lot of people are like, how do you handle losses so well? And how come you never are happy about a win? And it's like, it's just probabilities. Like I think the issue is, and I see this a lot when people post profits, they're always like, you know, we called it, we did this. I do it sometimes, but it's like, if you actually heard Gary Vee, which is really weird, it has nothing to do with trading, but I heard Gary Vee talk on, I think it was like the Impossible podcast or Logan Paul's podcast, but he was talking about how they were asking like, how do you deal with hate? And he was just explaining, basically, long story short, how he deals with hate fine because he realizes that everyone who's hating is probably hates their life. They're probably trolling, not really doing anything with their life. They're really unhappy with their situation. So he's actually compassionate and empathetic towards it. But he said that the reason that he's so good at dealing with the hate is that he never deals with all of like the people who are constantly like, you're so amazing, you're so great. Like he never falls into that. I'm actually that way with trading, right? Like with trading, I never really focus on like the wins or the losses. Like I don't ever get upset when I lose, and I never get happy when I win. Like I'm never on here like, yeah, bitch, made 11 G's. Like I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's like, it's just part of the game. It's so for me, I don't really care that much. No wacky indicators. No, no wacky indicators. Is Tesla 400 possible? Yeah, it's possible. Is it probable? Oh no, let's look. I don't think it's necessarily probable, or I think the probability of Tesla hitting 400 is low, but it's possible. I think Tesla can get back down to 6, but it is possible for sure. Anything is possible, my friend. Love to get a beer with you, you two salty sailor. Chadwick, no troll, bro, just facts. That's where you go wrong. You got to pay attention to everything. Okay, well, maybe I'm going wrong. We'll see. Yo, cuz, what's up, Big Nick? Damn Zoom. Let's take a look at Zoom. Yeah, Zoom is looking like we're gonna really drop. There's not a lot of volume down here. I was looking at what was I looking at today? Somebody was asking me about Neo. So we can also go over Neo. Someone was asking me about Neo and Palantir in the Discord. But Neo's same thing with Zoom. A lot of these companies like no volume on Neo underneath 1883. No volume at all. Remember, if we were to snap this level, this thing is going to drop down to like 14, 12 buck range. Like really not looking too good. Looking at the weekly, we still have like this inverted head and shoulders here, but with how the rest of the market's trading, I'd really be watching that range because it's looking like we could get back down to 15, maybe even 10 bucks. Palantir, same situation on the weekly. Like we're about to drop to no man's land if we get under $8. If we can get through this level, we can see Palantir at like 588, $5. Really not good. And then Zoom is like the same situation. I kind of coupled all of these together because I had a lot of people asking, but Zoom is like the same situation. Not a lot of volume under this level. Rejecting on point of control. We did have a lot of unusual flow come through, but Zoom is another one of those where it's looking like we're going to drop to like 77.65, maybe even like $57. So I'm not buying Neo. I'm not buying Palantir. I'm not buying Zoom. I had Zoom. I might actually still have the shares from a couple of days ago. There's some unusual flows that come through, but if I do, I'm going to sell them because it's really not looking good. A lot of these small tech companies are like really getting the shit beat out of them, especially the old the Roni companies too. $400. We talked about that. Any bullish dark prints? So when you're looking at dark bulls, there is no bullish or bearish print. It's just a print, and then based upon like the price action is normally how you can tell. But I haven't really been watching any prints today. It's very rare. Like I don't put too much merit into like any prints. For instance, these prints on SPY, you see here on the left, these prints on SPY, these were definitely bullish. Like as soon as those prints came through, we bounced. But the thing about prints is like you have to look at what percentage of the average volume it is. If you look on the right side of the screen here, you can see all of these prints that came through in the last like 10 minutes on SPY. They're all like 0.7%, 0.1%, 0.2%. If it came through like 20% of the day's average volume, that's nuts. That would never happen on SPY. Let's see, let's go through. Run. How many trades do you run at one time? It depends. So like normally 5 or 6 if I'm testing a new strategy like I am right now. It could be to the highs of 10 or 14 because remember when you're testing a strategy, you need a large sample size and you can't pick and choose, right? Like you can't pick and choose. You have to really focus on a specific, like as soon as the criteria is hit, you enter, right? As soon as criteria is hit, you exit, right? So for me, it really depends. Big Nick, I have a theory. Hear me out. So I think people are saving all their cash and paying for everything on credit. This is why saving numbers keep rising and screwing up the numbers. Potentially. I mean, potentially. I don't know. I haven't actually looked at any numbers based on that, but I don't know. Maybe. Tesla will go up 7 to 10% on the 3rd of October after Q3 sales numbers are out. Let's hope, Paul. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how Q3 sales go. SNY went over that. Volume is on 30-minute. Oh, yeah, we already went over this. This is all like, oh no, it's not. Never mind. We went back through. I'm like having a stroke trying to keep up with this. Dark gray volume indicator that you have on the right. Why do you use that? P.S. Thanks for all that you do. Nick, thank you, bro. So this is called a volume profile. So volume profile is, I think, like a pretty fucking busted indicator. It's really good. Like if I could only have one indicator, it would be a volume profile and then like a 200 SMA. So why is this so important, right? If you're looking at a stock chart, right? Like we're looking at SPY right now, you're going to have all of your volume bars down below, right? Like you're going to have all of your volume bars down here. And this is going to show you how many shares were traded within that single day, or if you're looking at an hour chart, how many shares were traded within that hour. Whatever the candle is that you're looking at, whatever time frame you're using, it's going to show you how many shares were traded. What it doesn't show you is when you're looking at like a zoomed out photo, where they were traded at. And as a trader, you want to trade with volume, right? We can't move the stock alone. Big money can't move the stock alone. So what we want to do is trade alongside of that volume. So looking at SPY, for instance, there is like no volume between 410 and 395. So you want, anytime we're going to move through a thin area of volume, it's going to happen pretty quickly. And that's why we use that. Ron, do you set alerts and not watch charts? Sometimes I set alerts, but most of the time I wake up, I usually have meetings till like 10:30 or 11. I hop on the computer at 11. I chart for like an hour, enter some trades, exit some trades, and then I hop back on at 3. And that's it. You don't need to be sitting in front of the charts all day. You really don't. Some people enjoy it, but you really don't have to. But yeah, setting alerts is not bad either. Hi Pete, looking at charts for WOLF. Is this an example of a high probability short with the potential to fill to the downside? Hit the like button, boys. WOLF. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is a great example. Yes. We have resistance up here. This would be a pivot if we broke through to the upside. RSI is pointing up, but there's two things. So, all right, two things. Number one, I don't really like going short when a stock breaks out after earnings. When you're looking at gap runs, the gap will normally continue to run if there's a fundamental reason for it. So if it's just some news that is not, massive to the fundamental aspect of the company, we will tend to not continue to run. But if it's something like earnings and they beat heavily, which they, did a loss of 2 cents EPS versus a loss of 12 cents last quarter. I don't know what it was year over year. Looks like year over year, it was a loss of 23 cents. They almost broke even now. I wouldn't go against this personally. But what I would do is wait to see if we just consolidate for a couple of weeks up at 115, and then I would enter. But yeah, normally if that wasn't earnings and it was a gap, like it would be looking weak. Let me see. Should we re-enter Microsoft? I would not re-enter Microsoft personally. Can you please see Solana? Mubina, what was it? SOL USD? I don't know. I don't trade crypto. Solana USD, SOL USD. Yeah, this thing doesn't look too good. I don't know shit about Solana, but looking at this here on the daily, big point of control, breaking this, probably going to drop down to like $24.25. Should the market improve tomorrow or more red? Might have a little bounce overnight, but I think ultimately going in the rest of the week, more red. Let's see. How about Sava? Are you still holding? I'm still holding Sava, but I'm going to probably cut it. It was a terrible position, but at the time I decided to enter it just because the RVR was there. But I'm probably going to end up just cutting it. Cassava was one of those companies that I was going to YOLO invest in at one point, so I might end up holding it. I was selling cash. I don't know if any of you guys have been following me for a while now, but I ended up selling and making a lot of money selling cash secured puts every single week on Cassava for like a year, because me and Oz made a shitload of money on it too, because the IV was so fucking high that you could sell a massive amount and you would make bank just because of how high the premium was. And I always contemplated just grabbing some long term. And I don't know if I'll hold it. I'll probably cut it tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on if I want to just risk what I have long term and have it potentially go back up to 100 or 0. It's not a massive amount of my portfolio, so I'm not too worried. Agman, premium member here, love the guidance. Just sold my Tesla stock today. Average was 850. Do you think it will dip below that? I do think it'll dip below that, Agman. And thank you so much for all the support and the love. But yeah, I think it will. let me see. Marcel, it is ridiculous. I followed you on several trades and only hit the losing ones. Should I follow all of your trades then? Yes. So, great example would be, all right, let's go through. We can actually go through my trades. So I'm currently holding a loss on VERU and Sava, which I said when I entered them, like, I don't think anybody should follow them. So let's go to open positions. Let's go back. Let's just go from the time that I was starting to test this strategy, which would be these. So on 8/8, I started testing the strategy, closed out Meta for a profit, PG for a profit, Nike for a loss, GoodRx for a massive profit, but that doesn't count. Comcast for a loss, Tesla for a profit, AMC for a profit, Tesla for a profit, Boeing for a profit, CVX I entered, BX for a profit, Roblox for a profit, Halliburton for a profit, COP for a profit, Rocket for a profit, Intel for a loss, BMY for a profit, CVX for a profit, ABBV for a profit, O'Reilly for a profit, MRK for a profit, LLY for a profit, CVX for another profit, PG for a profit, Boeing for another profit, Zoom for a profit, AMC for another profit, GME for a profit, what is this? BBBY for a profit, CTSH for a loss, Tesla for a loss, Dollar Tree for a profit, Microsoft AMD for profits, Raytheon for a profit, Yum for a loss. I'm in lows. Close out KMB for a loss, but would have been a profit. And then I'm holding VERU, which is a loss, and Sava, which is a loss, and then Apple and Amazon, which are going to be losses. So the point is, and definitely with you, with Marcel, and this is like a really good to kind of segue, which I wanted to do like a stream with the premium members himself, is that, and this is not just for following my trades, but this is for like your own trading strategy, no matter what you do. Like we said before, it's a game of probabilities. Like, it's a really good example here. So this is a coin, it says Memento Mori on it. I fucking love it. But, let's say that we have 50-50 on this coin. Okay. If I flip it, do we know what it's going to be? We have no fucking clue. It's heads. If I flip it again, do I know what it's going to be? No fucking clue. It's tails, right? If I flip it again, what's it going to be? It's tails. The point is, if I flip it 100 times and we have a 50-50 shot, 50 times is going to be heads on average. 50 times is going to be tails. However, we don't know what it's going to be next time. So, for instance, like, great example, Marcel, the average of all of the trades I took in the past couple of weeks has been like 69 or 75% profitable. But if you hit just the bad ones, then you would definitely be fucked, which is why I tell a lot of people outside of this, like, if you're a long-term investor, just buy SPY, because you're investing in 500 companies and someone else is managing it for you. I purely just hit the bad ones. So yeah, what I would say is to hit every trade, right? Hit, if you want, hit every trade. Now, this is where position sizing is extremely important, right? If you only have $10,000, or let's say you have $5,000, you don't hit every single trade with all of the money that you have. So like, if you have $5,000, you don't get $5,000 in Yum puts. Like, that's just a bad move, right? So yeah, you want to, like, I only trade with 2% of my portfolio. So let's say, for instance, you wanted to follow Microsoft puts I got, my Dollar Tree calls I had, or my AMD puts and my Microsoft puts, my Raytheon puts, my Yum calls. Let's say you wanted to enter all of those, right? And you only have $5,000. Well, then you should be doing put credit spreads and call credit spreads with 2 to 3% of your portfolio, 5% max, because it's all about like the length of the amount of trades you take, which is why, and I've seen this happen way too many freaking times, guys. People will join my Discord or anybody else's Discord. They will pay for all of the trades. And then what they'll do is they will come in and they will hit my next 3 trades. And I'm not saying you're doing this, Marcel, not at all. I'm just saying I've seen this a lot. They'll hit my next 3 trades with all the fucking money they have. And they think to themselves, oh, well, Pete's been doing this for 8 years, so his next trade has to be a winner. Not the fucking case, right? Like I can lose 5 times in a row. I can lose 15 times in a row. I think my biggest losing streak was like 9 trades in a row and I just stopped for the week, right? So that's the biggest thing with your guys' own trading. Realize like that's why I always take smaller positions, bigger stop losses, and whatever happens, happens. So yeah, I would take every single trade and I would trade with a very small amount of money. A very small percentage, I should say, of your portfolio. Let me see. Or none. You could do that too. I'm some French Canadian guy and I love all you guys. I watch but rarely comment. I want to say I really appreciate what you do, especially you, Pete. Thank you so much. Terminal velocity fucking means a lot to me. I would love to come visit you in Canada, but I'm a felon, so I can't. But yeah, thank you so much. Do you think it's more probable we see lower lows or higher highs on SPY and QQQ? Lower lows for sure. I only follow you in spreads. It's a great move. It's a great move. And I'm going to actually probably do that at the end of this video, at the end of this stream. A lot of people within our Discord have been asking me if I don't have enough money to follow you on your trades, what should I do? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I've already probably been streaming for an hour. 1 hour and 1 minute. Let's go. Goes by too quick, man. Call for duty or call for duty. What price would you look at QILD? So, man, QILD is, I think if you're a dividend investor, which I'm not, it's probably one of the better things that you can invest in. However, if you look at the performance of QILD, it's really not that good. I'm not a huge fan, but if you really want to enter in QILD, I think we're probably going to hit like 17, 16, that range. It's not bad. Do you see the golden flow in black box before it shows up in the market or the moment it hits? The moment it hits. Somebody asked me, what do I use for all the flow and the dark pools and stuff? It's in the description. It's a Discord. Or it's a Discord, fuck. Now, I post them in there, but it's black box stocks. All right, let's go through these pretty quick. What is a good price for Tesla now? 650 is what I'm looking at. Yeah, there we go. What's the platform? It's called Black Box Stocks, and the link is in the description. I think I get a kickback from it too. Thoughts on Roblox? Let's take a look. RBLX. Hit the like button too, guys. RBLX. There we go. Yeah, Roblox is probably going to drop down to 32.80, 33 range. If we snap that, then we're going to make a lower low. But it's not looking bad. Let me see. Thoughts on Roblox. Please explain your Tesla put. Yeah, so let's do that really quick. I wanted to get into I did this at the beginning, but we can go over it again. With the Tesla put, I probably should have just like waited. I had a perfect entry on Friday. I closed out. I'm sorry, not Friday, Thursday. I closed it out. But we had this drop, consolidation, drop, consolidation, resistance at 870. If we push through 870 tomorrow and then we break up over 880, I will just get out of the trade. But looking at Tesla, there's no volume sub this level. So I think that we're going to see Tesla down at 825. If not, we'll see what happens. I might cut it, but I'm also not against losing 4Gs for that, to be quite honest. So I think we're going to continue to drop. Bro, what do you, this is a really good question, because I want to talk about this. All right. Is the market crashing? Riyadh S, is the market crashing soon? Okay. So technically, if you were to ask, are we in a recession? What would you guys say? Are we in a recession? So I want to kind of go over this. I'm actually going to put this on the screen. Are we in a recession? Right? So when someone asks, is the market going to crash soon? It's really dependent upon, yes, I fucking love you guys. You're saying yes. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But a lot of people ask, like, is the market going to crash? It's like, what do you consider a crash? Most of the time when the market crashes, it's not like a COVID type deal where it's like 20% in a week, right? So if you were to take your Series 7 exam, right, to become basically a fund manager or to, work on Wall Street and be an investment banker, etc., etc. If you were to take your Series 7, the question that is asked, what is a recession? The only way to answer that is, what is a recession by definition? Gold star for anybody who can tell me what a recession is by definition. The stock market has been receding all year, equals we're in a recession. What is the definition of a recession? Does anybody know? 2 quarters of GDP declining. Boom, Marcel. Good fucking shit. Always take profits. 2 quarters. Yep, exactly. Yeah. So, yes, we're in a recession. Like, we're in a recession. That would be classically a recession. So when you ask the question, is the stock market going to crash soon? Like, man, we've been crashing. Like, I don't like using the word crash. It's a very, like, clickbaity, like, crashes normally happen when there's insane bubbles. This bubble has, like, slowly been coming down and down and down. We're still in a bubble. I don't think the market's going to crash soon. Like, you know what I mean? But I do think the market's going to drop probably another 10%, which to some people might be. But yeah, I mean, like, we're in a recession, and I think we're going to be in a recession for a bit. But that doesn't mean that, like, a massive crash is going to happen where you're going to, like, lose 90% of your profits or whatever for the year. So, good question. Let me see. All right, let's go through these quickly, and then I got to hop off. I only follow you with spreads. Good stuff. I'm on the sidelines. 100% cash. Let's go GS Delve. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm about 70% cash. Let's go, Pete. Man's a machine. Thank you, bro. 650 post split. I don't know what the split is. Is it split 5-1, 4-1? I don't even know. Let me see. Volume will come in Wednesday. Yes, yes, yes. When Tesla's call her as her environment. I was going to say we've been in a recession all year. 2 quarters negative GDP. When the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Nick, unfortunately, I think that's just going to continue to happen. Tesla has been red for 5 days straight in a row. Good Q2, EV tax credit, etc. We are due for a green day post split. Yeah. I mean, maybe. I think we're going to drop down to the 830s, but we'll see what happens. I mean, so the fundamentals of a company will have nothing to do with the day-to-day movement. So, like, okay, even if they have a good Q2 and the EV tax credit, etc., if retail is freaking out and big money's dumping SPY in the rest of the market, it's going to drop, unfortunately. That's the old definition. It's very true. 3-1 split. So, yeah, I mean, 3-1 split, it's going to be, what are we at right now? 8? It's going to be like 280 a share on the 24th. Be like 280 a share on the 24th. All right, guys. Any questions? Any more questions or anything? Then we'll hop off. My goal is to do this every day. Live stream every day. I'll take parts of the video and then I'll put them up so you guys can watch them later on. And we'll see how this goes. I really like live streaming, and I feel that really helps for, like, blocking together a lot of my time to make things easier. What's the fastest way to lose money this week? Aditya, let's go. The fastest way to lose money is to buy weekly. Here, let me tell you the fastest way. Not financial advice. The fastest way to lose money is to listen to me. This is very right, Syracuse. And is to listen to me, or to get 1250 calls on Tesla expiring tomorrow. No, expiring Friday. Yeah, that would be the best way. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Enjoy your day. Let me know if you need anything. Comment down below. Don't fucking follow robots. That's one thing. I see some dude. YouTube has to do something about this. It's so ridiculous. I like robotic trading plans. Give me a good formula. I'll follow it. That's my goal too. Hey Peter, not to pass a question, but hit the thumbs up button for the live stream. Hope these guys follow too. Thank you so much, Keith. Let me see. I'm interested in joining your group, but once the group gets a certain size, you won't be able to pay as much attention, right? What are your expansion plans? Let me clear my throat and let's talk about that. So, Always take profits. Yeah, so basically what I initially did, I'll show you guys. So all I had, no, it's not a tough question. It's really a good question because a lot of people are asking. So what I have is two separate aspects of the company. There's one, which is the mentorship group, which you get access to everything and you get direct access to me and all the courses and shit. So the goal of that was for me to be more hands-on and be able to respond to people as soon as they have a question, right? That was the goal. I capped that out at like 150 people. And I started the Traders Helping Traders Discord, which was a free Discord. We're coming up on 1 year and there's over 8,000 fucking people there, which is just insane. And so a lot of people were asking me like, hey, how do I get access to your trades? How do I get access to your trades? And I said to myself, I don't want to open up the mentorship group because I'm going to get, sounds great, thousands of people paying me hundreds of dollars a month, which sounds great. It's not great. It's too much of a fucking headache, right? I can't deal with it because I can't be a good teacher and then deal with thousands of people responding to emails and DMs and shit like that. So what I did was I started the Traders Helping Traders premium group, which now has, you can see here, 540 members in it. That group was only supposed to be my trades. It was only supposed to be, it copies my trades from Capitalist Academy, which is the mentorship group, and drops them in this Discord. That's all it was supposed to be. My mentor said, don't ever respond to pings. Don't ever type in there. Don't ever live stream in there. Don't ever do any of that because you're going to destroy yourself mentally by trying to teach over there for like $25 a month instead of the $250 that you charge for your time over in the mentorship group. And it's just going to kill you. And long story short, it has. So I spend time over in the Traders Helping Traders Discord and with the premium group every single day, which theoretically I shouldn't, but since I'm a teacher at heart and I love helping people, I spend a lot of time over there. So as far as expansion plans, it's a really good question. We've brought on other analysts. So we have 3 other analysts. We have moderators. I'm going to continue to bring more people on, and I'm opening up. You should mute all the pings from non-paid rooms. Yeah, that's basically what I have to do. And I also have to mute even paid people, which sucks because I think the issue is like when you're paying $25 a month for my trades, this is going to sound very asshole-ish of me. So please take this with a grain of salt. But if you're paying $25 a month for the trades, you're not paying for my time. You're paying for the trades, right? It's like if I created a weekly newsletter for $5 or $20, it's not paying for my time. I don't have the mental bandwidth to have 500 students that I'm responding to all day. Like I can't do that because there's like a pillar that builds the business, right? Number 1 is I'm a trader, right? If I'm not a trader, then I don't have the business and I don't have the content creation, right? So that's the first thing that has to happen. In order to be a good trader, I have to mentally be spot on at all times, right? Like that's the tip of the spear. If the tip of the spear is broken, everything else is worthless. So that's the same thing. I teach as well. Scalability is tough to achieve. So like, this is the biggest thing, right? And this is why it sounds egotistical and asshole-ish, but hang on. Right? And always take profits. As a teacher, you will understand this. I've been talking with a mentor for a very long time about this. The truth of the matter is I can't teach 500 people. Like it's just not possible. So what he suggested I do is literally charge $1,000 a month and have 25 people. And that's all I work with is 25 people. 25 people with massive portfolios of $500,000 or more. And I just focus on those 25 people. Because the truth of the matter is when you're building a business, people who have $500,000 portfolios and will pay you $1,000 a month, they are like usually the least needy people possible. Right? But I don't like that shit because the truth of the matter is, I don't want to help people who have money make more money, right? Like, that's great. But I want to help the people who were me 7 years ago, who needed guidance and needed help. The only reason I charge $25 a month, I think it's $30 a month, is because if I gave everything away for free, nobody would fucking take it seriously. If you give people shit for free, they don't fucking take it seriously. And that's why I have to have people make an investment. Like, the Discord makes 10 grand a month, or 10 grand a month, maybe 11 grand a month now. Once again, gonna sound egotistical. Some of you might say, holy shit, 10 grand a month. Dude, I'm telling you, it's almost not worth it. After the government fucks me for that money, and then I pay everybody, I'm making $2,500 a month. Me working 7 hours a fucking day to make $2,500 a month is bullshit. Like, it's a labor of love because I fucking love you guys. If I really wanted to make money, like I said, I would just take 25 people, work 2 hours a day, charge $1,000 a month, and work with people who have more money. That's not what I want to do. I want to help you guys. That's the goal, because I've hit this weird thing in the past past year, really, where I grew up poor as fuck. And then I got to a point where, like, last year, pre-tax, I made 400 grand. And, like, it was the most depressing year of my life. Because I went from, this is like me opening up and sharing about this. I want to make a whole video about this. But, like, I went from surviving my whole life to having to find meaning in life. And I started to realize after buying, like, 2 cars, a house, like, all this shit, like, what's the point, right? Like, even if I were to make $10 million a year, like, what would you spend it on? And a lot of you guys instantly are gonna be like, bro, I would blank, 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 blank. But it's like, okay, let's say you buy $50,000 worth of clothes, $500,000 worth of cars, a $3 million house, 10 Rolexes. Like, after 3 or 4 million bucks, like, what do you do? Travel the world. That's true, man. But, like, here's the thing. I've traveled a lot. You want to come home after a while. And when I didn't have money, I'd be like, bro, I can give you 100 fucking things I would do. After a while, it doesn't matter. Like, I can basically order anything I want. I can have any car I want. Like, not any car I want. I'd have to spend an entire year's salary on, like, a Huracan. But it's like, for me, I want to buy my time back. That's what I'm trying to do. And so, long story short, I don't know why I went sideways here, but always take profits of saying, like, how do you scale it? I really can't scale it. The way you scale a service-based industry is by charging a fuckload of money for it, right? By, like I said, charging $1,000 and having 25 or 30 people and working like a quarter of what I'm doing, or just giving you the tools but not my time. And so that's why kind of getting into like the business aspect right now, because I did start another channel, which you guys should all fucking subscribe to. I'm going to start doing at least 1 video a week, probably a podcast. I don't know where it is. This is the channel. But what I'm trying to do right now is only do things that I can leverage my time. So this is going to sound crazy, but like, it is pointless for me to like mow the lawn. It is pointless for me to cook food. It is pointless for me to respond to DMs. It's pointless for me to even respond to pings on Discord at this point. What I have to do is things that I can leverage, right? So if I write up an email, that's 1 email I can send to my email list of 5,000 people. If I do 1 live stream, this live stream has reached 1,200 people, and I can chop this up into 6 different videos and then put that on YouTube and reach 10,000 people. So 1 hour reaches 10,000 people, right? 1 email reaches 5,000 people. 1 post reaches 700 people within the Discord, right? If I were to sit here and respond to 1 person via a DM, that is 15 minutes of my life that goes to 1 person, when I could spend 15 minutes of my life going to 10,000 people. And that is how you scale. So basically what you're saying, always take profits, like, that's how you scale. Because it's really weird, but like, I've been working with my mentor a lot, but like poor people add on to their life. Rich people pull back. So like poor people would be like, no, I need to add this option, this option, this option. I need to work an extra job. I need to do more of this. Like I need to fucking upload 10 times a day. Like I need to do all this. And I was always like that. And from now, I'm trying to think of it from like a CEO mindset of like, I actually need to do way less, like significantly less. Because even this YouTube channel has grown to what it is. And you guys are gonna probably get pissed, but whatever. It will, like this channel grew to what it is because of Tesla stock. I don't ever fucking trade Tesla stock. I hate talking about Tesla stock. I'm gonna be fucking honest here. I fucking hate it. But you guys love the analysis. And you watch it. And you enjoy it. And so that's why I talk about it. Because I can't be a selfish content creator. But it's like a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, you go back and forth on your analysis. It's like, dude, I won't even be trading Tesla most of the time. So you know what I mean? But yeah, it's really hard. And that's why I want to talk about in this other YouTube channel is like growing a company and thinking less like a content creator and more like a CEO. Grew because we love you. I fucking love you guys too. You need an assistant that will cut your live streams at 60 minutes, dude. I need an assistant who is like rules with an iron fist. That's what I really do need. Like I have this problem where I try to give as much as I humanly can because I remember what it was like. And I actually need somebody to like you said, get on here and be like, bro, fucking chill. Like stop, go hang out, go stop doing this, whatever. It's already 5 p.m. I haven't eaten today. But yeah, learning every day since I joined this channel. But yeah, so like I'm in a tough point where it's like I'm in a tough point where it's like if I want to chase the money, I would not do anything but help rich clients, which I have a lot of them, and they're the easiest clients. Like I'll tell you, like rich clients are the easiest fucking clients to deal with. But I don't want to do that. Like I want to help you guys go from like where I was 5-6 years ago to where I am today, right? And I always say this is one thing I want to say before I get off, right? I feel like there are so many guys, and this is very important. There are so many guys, not just from trading, but entrepreneurial. There are so many guys on YouTube who have already made it, right? Like the Grant Cardones, Ed Milet's, Alex Hormozzi's, fucking those types of guys who have already made the net worth 50, 60, 100, $200 million, right? Gary Vaynerchuk's, etc. And they teach you, which is phenomenal. I fucking love all those guys. I wouldn't be where I am without them. But there's not a lot of guys who are like going through it now, right? And so I'm only 5 steps ahead of you guys, 6, 7, 10 steps ahead of you, wherever you are. And so like, I can't teach you to make $1 million. I haven't quite done that yet. I'm close, but I can teach you how to make 400 grand a year in a company. I can teach you how to make 140, 150 grand a year trading stocks, depending upon your portfolio size. Like I can teach you that. And all of this is more than just fucking trading. And I want you to understand that it's more than trading. Trading is not my love and my heart. It's really not. It's a great way for me to make money. But like my heart is in business building and personal development. Once you learn that, you can build a business based around anything, like fucking anything. And that's what I plan to continue to do. All right, guys, fucking love you. Have a good day. Join the Discord. It's free. And we got a ton more shit coming. Peace, guys.